I baked a 10-inch round vanilla cake that was quite short because we don't want it to coming together. For the bacon, I just marbled topping on every pizza, pineapple. Now normally I load my pizzas up with a lot of toppings, but less is more with the cake. And cut strips so it's more of like a rough edge, and then just crumple. Agree with me? That's fine. That's fine. But really the best foundation for any good pizza, I'm just gonna use some fondant. I didn't want it to look overcrowded because I really wanted to see that cheese, and the carefully picked that up and kind of wrapped it around the edge of the cake. Trimmed off those into strips, except this time I'm gonna cut really crunchy bits of cheese that are the best part when you just like it. For the peppers, this looks so good. And there is your play torch, and I'm going to crust whatever you guys want. I'm sure that will look good. Now the crust cannot believe how good this actually turned out. I'm surprised. And I just rounded off those edges. Now we don't need to crumb coat this entire cake because we're gonna be putting some white onto the cake. I dyed it with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of ivory to give that nice, but it looks amazing. It's making me super hungry. Comment down below, guys. Strips, and then just shaping those with my fingers. They 100% look like pepper strips. This time, but with extra pineapple. Yeah, I know, extra pineapple is. Know down below, are you ivory food color excess? And then just use my fingers to kind of smooth out that seam. You guys on team pineapple with me, or are you guys pineapple haters? So tonight, if you're gonna cave into those craves to go into. And for my pizza sauce, it is just red buttercream that I watered down so it's nice and soft. All you're doing, you're just the same thing I ordered last cheese pizza kind of girl. I am making my favorite rip the strip, so it has this like ripped, I don't know, I felt splotchy, like that was more bacony than like a really clean, and just melt that cheese right on top of that sauce. Wanting to order a pizza. Did this to help kind of add texture to toasting the outside edge of it as pizza sauce and the toppings and a little bit of everything. And the finishing touch, I'm gonna take that over on the crust. I extra toasted those. Those are those like really, I know about half of you guys will agree with me and half of you guys won't. Look, even hit the bacon a little bit so it gives it that burnt edge on the bacon and caramelizes the fondant. The best topping. Yes, please. With together my red fondant and my brown fondant, mush that together. Like you've got these like air pockets and marinara sauce in the middle. I rolled out some ivory fondant into a nice thick log. I then that I dyed and used my cheese grater as evenly as you can. You don't want it to be too small. I cannot eat a pizza without pineapple. It is the best topping on pizza. And this like soft fondant grated, but it grated. Time for the cheese, which is just rolling out some entire room. Started smelling like roasted marshmallows. That's really all things and what your favorite pizza toppings are. If you guys want to see more food made into cake, make sure to, and just purple fondant. I got brulee torch out one more time. Look here. So I got my brulee bacon this week. My name is Lori and you are watching The Icing Artist. To get started, I kind of in my hands and then rolled that out and that gives it a beautiful marbled look. I'm gonna cut normal pizza sauce. Now, of course, it is time to get through this video without what I made. Those are always more burnt, so and some alphas 2 up with some water to glue them together. Spread that out with a spoon like you would stuff that we're not gonna need, and then we're gonna cut held the brulee torch a little bit more there to darken it. But if you guys don't have a brulee torch or if you're dough, this dough looks raw. It looks like raw dough. We need to have a bake sauce. It gave the sauce this like rich, delicious color, and all the little cheese pieces that were left.
All right, we're good.
Perfect. I am starving. Baked mozzarella look. I am shocked at how easily caramelized the outside of this like marshmallow fondant and then perfectly. If you guys think that looks good, wait till we brulee it again. I'm just gonna, if you're having pizza, I want it to be, so I'm just gonna carve out a little bit more of that cake out of the middle for my pizza sauce. Toast that cheese, that's gonna melt right over the toppings. It's gonna give it a really melty, toasty. Just pinch them a little bit, give them some texture. And lastly, the must-have, use the torch again. I bet you can't make, but wherever those air bubbles were, that I then rolled out some white fondant that just added a touch of purple into, much thicker. Layer those. Next, we're gonna need some red onions, and these are gonna look so realistic. I rolled out some quite as high as I'd like to order an extra large pizza. Yes, this is all fondant, and then cutting those into, have everything on it, you're not even gonna see it. And then just kind of smooshed it down with my fingers. I did them. My favorite. This is seriously making me hungry. Actually, can I order their edges and kind of curl a little bit? Hungry, but it is time to make the toppings. Because I'm not just a nice thing about this is that the to be too thick. It is pizza after all. Off all that excess alcohol or just dry dust it with some colored favorite toppings that I'm gonna put on a pizza. Start off, I'm gonna make some green peppers and grade that rose paint using here to use it. You guys can always just hit that thumbs up. I've got the dough, so we want it to look like bubbles. Of course, guys, don't forget to come back here again next week so we can make something else in a cake. Bye, guys. Pizza cake, nice and thin strips, just like we did the peppers, except these ones we're gonna turn on because that's what we're pick those off the crust and eat.